Good morning. Business Research Methods, Unit 2, topic Research Problems and Research Design. The subtopic for today's session is the techniques of defining the business research problem. Going for a recap of the previous topic, the steps in defining the research problem. So, we are going into a formulation process of the research problem. One, you develop the title. The title basically gives you the core idea of what the research is about. So, the area of study along with the key topic and the geographical area must be given. Second, we build a conceptual model. A conceptual model is the theory or the properties, the elements, the interrelationship between all the variables in a study being put theoretically is building a conceptual model and also including your hypotheses in it. Third is defining the objective of the study. So objective basically are questions to be answered through the study. Objectives are derived from the conceptual model and they basically tell you at what are the connections and what is the level of investigation that is required. Setting investigative questions basically means giving guidelines regarding the details of the research that has to be taken. The definition and measurement devices, the levels of investigative questions and data collected would be given. Next we have hypothesis formulation. So hypotheses are tentative propositions or pre-assumptions relating to the investigative questions. We formulate them and we test them, and if it is right, we accept the hypothesis. Next, we go in for delimiting the scope of the study. So delimiting is nothing but limitations, stating the limitations of the study in relation to the objectives of the study, the geographical area, the magnitude of the study, the reference period, etc. While delimiting the scope of the study, we take into consideration the aim, the availability of data, the extent of the geographical area of study, the amount of finance or budget used, etc. Finally, we go in for defining the operational terms of the concepts used in the study. The learning objective for this topic would be to understand the techniques of defining the research problem. So the content of this session is the techniques of defining the research problem. 1. The formulation of the statement of the problem. The research problem must be stated in a general manner after deciding on an area of specific interest and most probably after conducting a preliminary study to find out the feasibility. It can be a pilot study or an observation. So the statement of the problem is stated in a general manner. Example, whether the study is marketing or finance, etc. Next, developing the conceptual model or the nature of the problem. This is done through discussions, interactions, consultations, and here the basic aim is to build up good knowledge of the problem concerned and a deep study of the environment within which the problem is going to be studied. Third, The study of the available data regarding the problem, or review or survey of literature, identification of research gaps, and building up of research questions. This basically justifies the reason for research. So, studying earlier theories and finding out where the interconnections of different theories give us a research gap. So, this research gap is most important in deciding your research problem. 4. Developing ideas through discussions or experience surveys to arrive at specific area of interest. And after this, you have to rephrase the problem into analytical or operational terms. This rephrasing will help in developing of a working hypothesis. Next, you are going to define the objectives and limit the scope of the problem in terms of time, geography, magnitude of the problem, data availability, etc. The formulation of a hypothesis and assumptions to state the reason for selecting the particular problem must also be given. Rephrasing research problem is creation of a working proposition within defined environments. Finding out what is the available data. Finding out what type of hypothesis testing is required, and thereby what type of data collection and analyzing techniques must be used. You also decide upon what type of technical terms or phrases are being used, and they must be defined. Basic assumptions or postulates relating to your research problem must be clearly stated and discussed. A statement of the value of the investigation should be provided to justify your selection of the problem. So this value statement is also very important. It clearly defines where your research is going to help or where your research is going to give solutions. The suitability of the time period and the data available must also be decided. The scope of the investigation must also be explicitly defined and stated. In conclusion, formulation is transforming the topic into a scientifically researchable question. It helps give focus to the problem and its solution and avoids waste of time, effort, money, and helps control research activity as per plans. Thank you.